Okay, so Alex, do you remember when you heard metal music for the first time?
Yes, I do. A long time ago, talking back in early 80s, I think. Our older brother introduced us to heavy metal music back then, and since then, still here.
So what were like the first bands that you remember hearing when it comes to metal music?
The first heavy metal hard rock band we heard was AC/DC.
Okay.
And then, Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, the early classics, But AC/DC was definitely the first.
So what made you form a band?
Well, we gotta go back in time, talking high school days, I got a friend. We got a friend that used to play guitar. He had a guitar, and then he was playing AC/DC, Iron Maiden songs, and he invited us to go check him out. Playing his guitar, and then we got hooked right away. I felt it was like, man, that's so fucking amazing. And that was it. Since the very first time I saw somebody playing rock and roll music on guitar, we're like, hell yeah, that's what I want to do. So talking about high school days. I got this friend. He was playing his guitar, and then a little later on, we formed a band together. Because we're very good friends. So it was it.
So what was in extreme music that sort of caught your attention, and was Krisiun the first ever band that you had?
Well, the very first band, it wasn't anything extreme. We're trying to play heavy metal songs, hard rock songs, and things. They were getting more and more extreme in a way. Bands such as Slayer and Possessed and Morbid Angel were getting out there. So. Well, it was back then we're just crazy kids, starving for anything new, and it was just it was part of the process, I think, we're we're always looking for something, more extreme, in a way, something crazier, and then I remember when I first started listening to, thrash metal or death metal, like I say, bands like Slayer and Morbid Angel, they were a big part of the process, they were our main influences actually, Before then it was just high school days, playing for fun, and then things are getting more and more serious, especially Max, the drummer, he was always crazy about double kicks, and we tried to play harder and harder, just trying to, we had the idea of being faster than anybody else, or more extreme than anybody else. It was just I don't really know what's the, I think we're just crazy kids trying to sound more extreme and faster than the other bands.
So obviously you guys are from Brazil, so was Sepultura an influence you, and what made you become a vocalist? Were there some specific vocalist that you looked up to when you started?
Yeah, Sepultura was definitely part of the whole thing, when I say Slayer, Possessed, so it was Sepultura as well, a little bit afterwards, Sepultura came out, some other Brazilian bands Sarcófago and Ratos de Porão, and then that was it. In regards of being a vocalist, it was it happened. I wasn't supposed to be a vocalist. We had a vocalist. I was just playing the bass, and but this guy was it was kind of a kind of lazy, he wouldn't show up to the rehearsals, so we're practicing us three. So I was writing lyrics and trying to lay down some vocals on the songs, you know what I mean? And at some point we're like looking for another vocalist, and then but I kept doing it on you know, and doing it and doing it. And then the guys were like, all right, man, it's you, it's up to you, just keep doing it until we find someone else. And
here you are, still 30 plus years.
we still haven't found anybody, man. I'm still here.
So what kind of like early memories do you have when it comes to growling? Were you like losing your voice, and did it take like long time to figure out the right technique for it so that you wouldn't lose your voice?
Definitely. It was like you know, I mean, back in the day it was rough, you know. I mean, I would lose my voice like right away, you know. We didn't have any techniques or anything. It was just like trying to shout it loud, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it takes some time, man. It definitely takes some time. It's just you don't really take care of anything. It's just you don't care about nothing, you know what I mean? Just get there and try to start screaming, you know what I mean? It takes time, I would say, you know what I mean, to find out your right tone, you know what I mean, and find out like you know what I mean, the way to you know, to do it, like especially like if, you know, if you're playing an instrument and singing at the same time, you know what I mean. It was just hard, man. I was like it took some time, man. It takes a lot of experience, you know what I mean, to, you know what I mean, find out your right way, you know what I mean. And sometimes people, usually like younger kids, they ask me what's up with that, and I say it takes time, man. It's not like you gotta get there and try to sound as brutal as you can. You gotta find the right way, you know what I mean, the right point to do what you do, you know what I mean. It's not just about like trying to sound as brutal or as loud, you know what I mean. Just find the right way, and it definitely takes a lot of you know what I mean, rehearsals and shows. I remember losing my voice after a couple of shows, and then it's part of the process, you know what I mean. And if you do it, if you believe in what you're doing, you gotta find out, you gotta develop your own style and do it. But I would say it takes time, man. It's up to you. If you want to do it, you got to find out, you know what I mean, your own way.
So when you started growling with Krisiun, were you first playing like cover songs, or did you immediately started writing your own music? And when you started like screaming, were you first sort of like mimicking your influences and idols and then figuring out your own way to do things? Or how did you develop the voice that you have today?
We definitely been through, like, you know what I mean, we're playing different songs. I wasn't as, you know what I mean, I remember I was like, not really growling, like, you know what I mean, like I was more like anything between thrash and death, you know what I mean. I was listening to a lot of Slayer and Metallica, so I think back then, I mean, I would sound a little, not as, you know what I mean, dirt, you know what I mean. It was more, I tried to, you know what I mean, being in between, like something melodic and something more aggressive, you know what I mean. I was listening to Slayer, Metallica, and then you know what I mean, we kept doing it, and then you know what I mean, Morbid Angel came out, and this side, you know what I mean, these bands, you know what I mean. I think Morbid Angel and this side were like big influences on me when it comes to vocals. Not just vocals, I mean, but like for me, for myself, this side and Morbid Angel, yeah, they're, you know what I mean, I learned a lot of them guys, you know what I mean.
So what kind of like memories do you have when it comes to like the first proper bigger tour that you did? Were you ready as a vocalist to do like show after show after show, or was it like struggle for you vocal wise to do and have the stamina to do like many shows in a row?
Right. Like I said, you find out your what's good for you, what's not good for you. You know what I mean? When you first tour, like a long tour, I remember like. Not really losing my voice, but not sounding as I wish, you know what I mean? Because sometimes if you're younger, you don't care, you know what I mean? You're drinking a lot and smoking and you do a lot of shit, and that's not good for you. I mean, you can drink, you can have a little talk here and there, but you gotta rest, you know what I mean? A good night of sleep for me is like the best medicine when it comes to you know what I mean, save your voice. So I found out I gotta rest, you know what I mean? Stay away from heavy drugs and heavy things, you know what I mean? And save your voice, you know what I mean? And when I found out, like, it's all about like having a good night of sleep. Even though we were on a tour, we never really sleep well, but you got your bunk, you know what I mean, and you're on a bus, and you gotta, you know what I mean, try to sleep as much as possible, you know.
Are there like some specific foods or drinks that you have felt that they help you with the vocal cords in a way, or on the opposite side, something that you felt that you don't want to take before the show, that they harm you and your singing somehow?
Well, as far as getting anything that could harm my throat, I don't know, man. Maybe like when drinks are like super cold, I try to avoid cold drinks and icy beverages. You know what I mean? But when I'm home, I try to, you know what I mean, do a little, take care a little bit. You know what I mean? Like the usual stuff, like a lemon, a hot tea with lemon. I like ginger. I think ginger is pretty cool. Natural stuff, you know what I mean? Like a shake of fruits, you know what I mean? And all that, it's good not only for the throat, but for all your body, your organs, you know what I mean? But yeah, I try to avoid cold beverages, you know what I mean? Right before playing. And when I'm home, I try to take care of them, you know what I mean? With hot tea, lemon, the usual stuff.
So do you have like a specific warm-up routine that you follow before the shows, or are you more like an old school type of guy that you just go up on stage and warm up during the show?
Yeah, I'm old school type, but I like you know what I mean, when I'm home, I try to sing different things, you know what I mean, but with more like with a clean approach.
Okay.
You know what I mean, like I like sometimes blues music, you know what I mean, just for fun, you know what I mean, to improve your
singing skills.
Your singing skills, your techniques, you know what I mean. Sometimes, like I say, that it's not, people sometimes they think it's just getting there and scream as loud, as brutal as you can. It's not. If you deliver right, you know what I mean, you don't have to push it, like you don't have to force it, you know what I mean. So you find your right way. So yeah, I like to, you know, sometimes do different things, sing different things, different songs, like Elvis Presley, that kind of stuff, you know what I mean. I think it helps, you know what I mean.
So do you feel that the singing and screaming go hand in hand? So if you become better with the clean singing, it also helps with the screaming?
You got it. That's it. Yeah, it's all, you know what I mean. I don't know. It's everything is connected. You know what I mean. Your heart, your lungs, and your throat. So you don't really have to think just about it. Oh, this is death metal. I'm a death metal guy. I'm gonna, you know what I mean, try to sound as brutal as I can. Like I said, after all the years, you know what I mean, we've been doing this for a long time, and then it's a process, you know what I mean. Like I say, it's up to the individual, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If you do that, you find out your own way, I think.
So obviously you've released a lot of albums with Krisiun so far. Are there like some specific albums that you could pinpoint from the discography where you have felt that you have taken like a big step forward as a singer?
Yeah, man, it's being step by step, you know what I mean. Like if we're talking like, you know, I mean, the early stuff was more raw in a way, you know what I mean, like not much information, you know what I mean. For a couple of those early records, we didn't have a producer or anything. We have a producer, but nothing like, I mean, somebody to, you know what I mean, help you out with the accent, with the singing and dynamics. So I had to figure a bunch of things out my way, you know what I mean. And like I said, it was we didn't have any techniques. It was just trying to sound as brutal as I could. Of course, it's the early stuff. You gotta sound like raw, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then after a few albums, you know what I mean, we started getting like producers. I remember recording in Germany for the first time, and then we had a little assistance, you know what I mean, as far as you know what I mean, getting help, you know what I mean. So yeah, if you listen to our albums, it may sound, you know, it's the same band, same style. Some people say, you know what I mean, it's just their trademark, that's how they sound. But if you listen carefully, you know what I mean, especially for the last few ones, I tried, you know what I mean, to somehow not sound different from each other, but try something, you know what I mean, like it's the patterns, you know what I mean. Sometimes you do it like with more words or less words, and not as low endy, or it's I've been trying, man. I've been trying to, you know what I mean, especially for the best few albums, try to sound a little different, you know what I mean, from album to album, you know what I mean, even though it's the same thing, but somehow, like I said, it's so the way you attack, you know what I mean, the microphone. Sometimes I'm talking about like less words, more words, sometimes a bit more melodic, I've been trying everything, man, but it's the same deal, man.
So Morton Soless is the last album from you guys. Are there like vocally some new things that you haven't tried before on any of your other albums?
Yeah, I tried to, for the latest album, we have the idea of a sound more brutal than before, like for the past few ones. And like I was saying, like the vocal patterns and stuff, I tried to throw more words. It was more like busier lines, you know what I mean? Because more words, more faster stuff. It was a hard work, man. I remember we were working with this producer, and sometimes the guys were like, this is not gonna work because we tried to do too much in certain parts, and we had some problems, and but I kind of did it, you know what I mean? I wanted to bring more information, more words, and sound busier, and you know what I mean? And I think we did it. It's a different album, man. It's if you listen to it carefully, it's a busier way of singing, you know what I mean? It's more words, more information, you know what I mean? And the lyrics are pretty brutal too. So it's you know what I mean? Like I was saying, we tried to sound more brutal than before.
I have a couple of questions left, and the second last one actually goes that what were your parents' reactions when they heard you first time screaming your lungs out? Do you remember?
It's fun, man, because back in the day, everything was just, it was a process. I remember my mom finding out like our records, and she was already going crazy about it. She was like, we were saving money and buying records. And then I remember coming home with an Iron Maiden record, The Number of the Beast, and she was like, "Oh, this is evil stuff." Yeah, it was like doing pretty bad on school, you know what I mean? And so she got mad, especially because I was a really bad student, you know what I mean? And my grades are fucked up because I was thinking about music all the time, and but you know what I mean? After a while, they understood. They kind of understood, and you know, what I mean, they knew it. It was like we're meant to do it. You know, what I mean, so they accepted after a while. But I remember, you know, what I mean, like for the first few years, they were like. I remember like some of our other like relatives. You know, what I mean, like. They were like, "Oh, these guys are doing this for a couple of years, and then they go back home and find out a regular job." And we're like, I'm not coming back. That's what I'm gonna do. And then we were sure. That's the thing about it. You know, I mean, we knew it. We are like, we're determined to keep doing it.
So there was never like a plan B. No
plan
music.
B, man. No plan B. Maybe, you know, I mean, in the back of our mind, we're like, because it's hard. It's been hard, you know. I mean, you never know. I mean, most of the musicians they quit because You know, we gotta pay the bills. I gotta get a job. You know what I mean? There's the family pressure. You know what I mean? You gotta get a job. You gotta pay your bills, and sometimes you think about it. You know what I mean? But we're never meant to give up. You know what I mean? We're determined to do this.
Last question, any kind of advice that you would like to give to a young metal vocalist who is just about to start their journey? Anything that comes into your mind?
Oh man, it's like you said, it's a journey, man. It's a journey. You gotta be. I mean, it's up to the individual. It's up to you what you think about it. What you want to do. If you want to just have fun, it's cool. You go there, play with your friends, have some fun. Play music is all about having fun. But if you want to take it professionally, you know what I mean, and it's a different thing. If you want to just, you know what I mean, make it real, man, you gotta believe in yourself. You know what I mean. I usually tell the kids, if you trust yourself 99%, it's not gonna work. You gotta trust 100%. You gotta, you know what I mean, and just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Don't give up. Don't give up, because it's a process that demands not only skills or how good you look or how bad you look, or this is all bullshit. If you want to do this, if you trust yourself 100%, keep doing it. Trust yourself 100%. 100%. That's my advice. If you want to have fun, if you want to play for friends, play a couple of gigs here and there, it's fine. It's all about having fun. But if you want to turn the page, and if you want to take it seriously, if you want to take it like to a professional level, it's a demanding thing. It's a hard thing, you know what I mean? And it's not just about like getting girls and drugs and being famous or anything like that. It's nothing like that, you know what I mean? It's all about the music. We here, we survive all these years because we like what we do and we trust ourselves. I still had the feeling like when you hooked up with a tour, with a good fucking tour or a good fucking show, I still feel excited about it. You know what I mean? After all these years, I still got the feeling that, oh man, let's do it. Let's do it. Trust yourself and believe in yourself, and then you can do it.
Thank you a lot.
Thank you, brother.